Hello and welcome to the Stamp Camp. I'm Glenda Calkins, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you live for Tuesday's Tips and Techniques. Let me just make sure everything is set. It looks like I am good to go. Thanks for joining me tonight. Tonight's technique was new to me. It is something that I found on Split Coast Stampers, and I thought, I gotta try that. Once I tried it, I thought, all right, that's my technique for Tuesday. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. It's called a floating element card. Now I'm going to switch the camera so I can show you what I'm talking about. All right, so this is the card. It's called a floating element card. It reminds me of the cards they're talking about in the mini catalog. This is on page 61. We're going to be using the Floating and Fluttering bundle tonight. And up in the little corner here, it says visit youtube.com/stampingup to learn more about the floating frame technique shown here. So this is the floating frame technique. I've never done that technique, but from what I've heard and what I've seen, you have to have the press and seal. It's in the saran wrap section of your store, and I don't have that yet. But when I seen the floating elements technique on Split Coast, I thought, boy, that's very similar. So I think you could do the same technique I'm going to show you tonight to do the floating frame technique. I haven't tried it, but I'm thinking it would probably work. So this is the card we're going to be creating, and this is the bundle that we're going to be using. I think this bundle was actually made or created to do all these floating techniques. So it's with butterflies, which is gorgeous. But what I love in the stamp set, or in the die bundle, is you get two of these exact same framelits. Why do I like that? Because it cuts down on time when you can die cut two at a time, especially if you're doing a lot of them. But it has a lot of the different frames. It's got the different butterfly die cuts. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the outline image and you're going to stamp that on some white, and I use the black. And this is actually like a 3-step stamp set, but I'm just doing 2 steps. So you're going to ink those up, and then you're going to stamp them on your basic white. Thank you, Lou, for joining, and yeah, I appreciate you stopping by. Margaret, Jenny, thanks everybody for joining me. So that's your first step. You're going to stamp your butterflies. Now, like I said, you can cut 2 out at once, which I've already went ahead and did already. I've got a bunch because this was so much fun. I love this technique. I have the Magenta Madness. Now on my card sample, I used Melon Mambo, but the ribbon that I used was the Magenta Madness. So tonight I'm going to do the Magenta Madness, the Daffodil Delight, Coastal Cabana. I thought these colors were just pretty together, and Granny Apple Green. So like I said, this is like a 3-step stamp, but we're doing 2 steps. So now we're going to take our butterfly solid image, and that goes with this big one right here. Hopefully I'm in camera and my big head ain't in the view. But we're going to stamp filling in the butterflies that we stamp the outlines to. Now I love when stamps that are outline stamps have filler stamps because I just like that. And then I have the green for our little sprig here. Whoops. So we're going to do all those sprigs. Perfect. Then we're going to come in with the other leaf. Beautiful spring-like colors. We have been having quite the flurries today. Not too much piling up of snow, but lots of flurries. All right, and then I have the little yellow is going to be this butterfly here. And there is another stamp that would give you more detail in the butterflies, but we're going to just do the 2-step. And then the last butterfly here is going to be the Coastal Cabana. So use your favorite color combinations. I thought these were just all really pretty together. Ta-da! So now we're done with these ink pads. Close them up. Now, one thing I like about this floating element versus the floating frame is you can use any type of die set that you have. So you can do hearts, you can do rectangles, squares. We're going to use circle tonight. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to use a window sheet. Now I cut mine 4x4 because the largest circle die that I have is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So that's going to fit perfectly on there. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to put adhesive on the back. You can use the tear tape. I'm just going to do it with my press or stamp and seal, just so I don't take up so much time. But you want nice, good coverage. If I brought in my silicone mat, that probably would have been nice. But you're just going to place that on the window sheet. And we're going to kind of fill in. Good. So let's see here. And you're going to have some of it hanging off, which is totally fine. And then if you need to fill in more, what you can do is you can just take one and clip it apart. I'm just going to grab this butterfly here. And then there are other butterflies in the pack, in the dies, but just to save time, I'm going to fill that in. Let's see. I might be okay, just like that, because I can get that full. I like that. I like it. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your cut and emboss machine and you're going to die cut that out. So you're just going to place that on there. I like it like that. I think that looks good. Put my plate over top. And then we're going to run that through. Alright, so there is our circle. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Then what you're going to do is you're going to flip it over, and on the back side side, you're going to add dimensionals. And you're going to add quite a few dimensionals, actually. Because we want this all to be up in the air like it is floating. So we're going to fill in with little ones if it's a little spot. So you're going to have lots of these on there. One more right here, and I think we're good. I think it's pretty well covered. So now it's ready to go on our card. So my card base is the Magenta Madness, and this is 4 1/4 by 11. I did not score it. I probably should have. Then I have a piece of black. And then on the white, what I did was I embossed the top half with the Meadow Moments embossing folder. And I thought that went beautiful. It's got the little butterflies in there and the flowers and the little sprigs. So we're going to attach. But before we do that, I'm going to stamp the bottom. And I'm just going to put congratulations, but you can use any sentiment stamp that you wish. Let's center that. There we go. Now we're going to attach, maybe I'll attach it to the black. I think I didn't do it this way on my card, but either way it works. When I have embossing, I like to use the liquid glue. So on that top portion, I'm going to use the liquid glue. And then I'm just going to have a very little thin layer of that black showing all the way around, just like that. Before I attach that, I'm going to tie my ribbon. Now I have the Daffodil Delight or the Magenta Madness. So I'm going to wrap that around, and we're going to tie a knot right here on the edge. So I'm going to cut my ribbon. I'm going to take a glue dot. I'm going to place that down where I want my knot to be. It's like having that third finger. So I'm going to place that. And we'll come around here, push that on that knot, just like that, and that will hold it very nice while you come around and finish your square knot, just like that. Trim my ends. I think we'll attach it to the card front. And the very last piece, we'll put our element on the card. That looks good. Come in here. I am a pink girl. Love the pinks and black. So we're going to take all our little tabs off, our dimensionals. Like I said, this floating element technique, you can use any die to cut your floating. So like I said, I think this would work with the rectangles to make the floating frame. This isn't the way that I've seen it done, but I'm sure it would work no problem. So then you just layer that on, and it looks like they're floating on top. So this is the Mellow Mambo, this is the Magenta Madness. Same with the inks, Melon Mambo, Magenta Madness. I love them both. I am a pink girl, so you can't go wrong with pink. I added some pearls. Now you could put, since I used the in color of the Magenta Madness, I could use the in color dots and make them pink as well, but the pearls are just as gorgeous. Just like that. So very simple technique. I have not done the technique with the press and seal, so I'll have to get that and let you know how that goes. I'll probably do a video on it. But that is the technique I have for you today. If this was new to you, make sure that you like it and share it. If you are new to my Facebook page or YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe. And on YouTube, make sure you turn on that little bell in the upper right-hand corner so you always know when I go live. If you need any of the supplies, that beautiful stamp set bundle, I appreciate it if you go to my blog, www.TheStampCamp.com, and order that from me. And that is the hostess code that you're going to want to use for this month. And keep in mind, with every $50 that you spend, you get something free from Celebration. So don't forget 50 and free. It's 50 before shipping and tax, and you will be able to get something free from the Celebration brochure. So that is it for tonight. I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you learned a little trick or two. And as always, have a great night. Bye-bye.